Okay, so joining me on the show today is infielder Kendall Simmons. First of all, thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm doing good, man. Just hanging in there.
So, Kendall, if you just want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit, obviously you're a professional baseball player, but tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Uh, I'm Kendall Simmons from Macon, Georgia. I guess I started playing baseball man, as soon as I can walk. Both my brothers play baseball, so I guess it was kind of my footstones, and I did whatever they did. Baseball actually was not my first choice of sport.
Okay.
I was a big football guy growing up, and just competing at every sport I played in, whether it's football or basketball or baseball. And then I guess God just kind of led me to the way of baseball, like freshman year of high school. And it's been a journey ever since.
So, how has it been being a professional baseball player in quarantine with everything going on, not actively playing baseball this season? What have you kind of been doing to keep yourself in shape and keep yourself ready for whenever you do return to the field?
Honestly, in Georgia, it's been really good because, we all the guys in Georgia grew up playing against each other, playing with each other. So we all stick together as like a group. So we do a lot of BPs, man. Nothing's really completely shut down here. Like, we've been working out, hitting it hard, just like we had before. Nothing really changed. And, just trying to get as much live at bats as possible.
So, how much communication have you had with the Phillies organization? Because obviously you're not playing minor league baseball this season. So, have you been talking to hitting coaches, lifting coaches, conditioning, things like that? Or has it kind of been more on your own?
No, they do a really good job of communicating with us. We have Zoom calls every Tuesday, Wednesday. So different, like base running, hitting, nutrition, strength, and infield stuff. So they do a really good job of communicating with us and, letting us stay in touch with them, let them know, they stay in the loop as if they're here.
Okay. So when everything was going down earlier in the year, with the players and the owners for Major League Baseball kind of trying to figure out what was going on, what was running through your mind being a minor leaguer, with how much of a struggle they were having to get the major leagues going? What was going through your mind as a minor league baseball player?
To me, man, I just kind of stay in my lane. That's not my category right now to fight. That's not my battle to fight. So the most I can do right now is play my butt off, you know, show Philly that I can, help the big league squad out one day. And when that time comes that, I need to put my foot down or something like that, I'm happy to do that.
So have you been given the choice to play independent ball if you want to this summer?
No,
No?
I
So
don't
that's
think they're
not an
doing that.
option. Okay, because
Uh,
I wasn't sure. Some organizations like the A's are letting their guys play independent ball. So the Phillies are saying kind of they want to keep you to themselves basically.
right, right.
Okay. So if that was an option, would you do it or would you want to still just kind of stay with what you're doing right now?
I know I probably won't want to leave Georgia. I'd
Okay.
probably play like making bacon and like Emma and Macon, but I mean I doubt I actually go out like across the country and play
Okay.
independent ball. Because
Okay.
I mean we're getting live at bats here. Like everything's pretty good. Like we get the work in. So
So you were Kendall, you were drafted out of high school, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. So with that, when was the moment in high school when you realized like I'm really good, or maybe it was before high school, probably. When did you realize like I'm really good at this? This is something I could do professionally. This is something I could do past high school, past even the idea of going to college.
I say like sophomore year, I knew like I was probably gonna end up getting drafted just because like I believed in my athletic ability. I knew I had things that a lot of guys didn't have, but I didn't know that I had a shot at the big leagues until last year, honestly.
Okay. So what was it last year that kind of gave you that idea?
Man, just seeing all the hard work pay off and like how much I learned last year and the steps I had between like just being 18 and being 19, like that big phase, I learned a lot, and I was like, oh crap, like I'm actually pretty close, like I can see myself being a big leaguer right now. Before I didn't see it. I saw a bunch of talent and ability, but never saw it like on the field. But last year it kind of flipped, and I was like, this is what people are talking about. Now I see it.
So what was it that changed?
I guess I just started believing in myself, like realizing like, hey, like, I might be a little different than all other guys. And like just believing in that. And the Phillies do a good job of letting me know that and like helping me believe in myself.
So, I mean, coming from high school, obviously you probably did a lot of growing up quicker than other kids in high school because of the fact that you were expecting to be drafted, everything going into that. But was it hard going and playing professional baseball at age 18?
Yes and no. I mean, I knew that's where I wanted to be. I knew that's where I needed to be. Like, I knew I didn't want to go to college because, I want to be pushed. I want to
Yeah.
face guys who are way older than me. I need to face guys who are better than me and be around guys who are better than I am. So it helped me elevate my game. I didn't think it was weird. I thought it was like, okay, just next step in life. Like, this is where I belong. This is what I'm supposed to be. Like, I didn't like. For me, it was like I don't belong on a college baseball field. Like, this is where this is my destiny.
So you said you've been working out with guys in the Georgia area around you, right?
Yes, sir.
So what does that kind of look like on a day-to-day basis?
Like let's say I wake up at like 7, get to the gym around 7:45. I actually hit at the gym at 7:45, so I start hitting. Probably get done with that at like 9, and then I left for some days maybe in there for 3 hours. And I was feeling myself a little bit, so I keep it at 2.5. Get lunch, and I was help coaching the 17-year-old East Cobb Astros. So I hit, get my done my workout in the afternoon, go help coach my team, and after that, I'm working on my real estate license. So I go work on the real estate license. I'm actually luckily showing houses right now.
Really?
On the side, so yeah, so I have a full day packed every day.
Dang, that's actually very interesting because as we're doing this interview, I'm getting texts from my family. We just put our house on the market back home. So
Hey, sign me up. Sign me up.
If we would have done this interview a couple weeks ago, then I would have been able to hook you up. But so how did you get into that? That's actually very interesting.
Man, I mean, just a bunch of friends of mine, like my girlfriend's parents, and like Jake Holmes with the Phillies. We always talked about real estate, like when they did that, and like so my girlfriend's family is like really big on real estate, and I was like, that sounds interesting. And they're like, hey, like you have a great personality to do it. I feel like you'd be good at it. And I keep hearing that, and like all the guys in the clubhouse, like, yeah, you'd be a perfect real estate agent. And just like my personality and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go, and I just want to do that as I'm playing baseball and see how far I can go.
So, I mean, obviously you're 20 years old, you want to make it to the big leagues, but eventually whenever you stop playing baseball, is that something you'd like to do, whether that be in just like commercial real estate or even like, I know some guys who they do real estate like specifically for athletes. Is that something you'd want to do?
Yeah, man, it's definitely rolling in my head right now. Don't really know yet, but I definitely know I want to do that on the side. Like I want to have that in my pocket to be able to be like, hey, yeah, I can do that. But I don't know if I want to make it my main thing.
Okay. So when you're doing that, do you tell people that you're also a professional baseball player?
Nah.
Like you're walking around showing a house like, oh, by the way, I'm really good at hitting a ball 400 feet.
No, only if they know.
Okay.
Like I show like 2 houses to like my family friends, and they know them, but nothing. I won't like put it out there.
Okay. So I'm interested, Kendall, the way baseball looks right now, there's all of the guidelines, social distancing, things like that, fake crowd noise. For you as a player, how weird would that be playing in a stadium with no fans, playing where you're not even supposed to high five your teammates, wearing masks if you're on first base, getting held by the first baseman? Like how weird, give everybody a little bit of a sense of how different that is from a normal baseball game for you.
Man, that'll be like one of the weirdest things ever. It's hard to get amped up. I mean, I know the hitter, it might be different, but I know pitchers wise, I mean, some pitchers feed off the crowd noise. Like they get this rush through their body where like now their velo jumps up 4 miles per hour, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's going to play a big role. Like you might not late in the game, you might not get the nerves as you would with a lot of fans there. It's loud, and you got the whole atmosphere around you. You might not get those nerves with no fans. It's almost like GCL Part 2.
Have you been watching any of the games with like the computer generated fans or the cardboard cutouts in the back?
Man, no, I haven't watched any games, man. I've seen it on Twitter, but I keep up with it. But I hadn't honestly. I can't say I just sat here and watched the game.
Honestly, there's been a couple times that I've been convinced by specifically the cardboard cutouts, because if you're not really focusing on the back,
Oh,
you
that
just
counts.
see,
Yeah,
yeah, you just kind of see people in the background, and if you're focusing on the actual action, then you don't notice it. But to me, when I really notice it is when they'll pan to the computer generated when they have it on Fox and stuff. Some guy hits a home run, and it literally looks like the Wii baseball where the fans are like
oh
jumping
yeah,
up and
yeah.
down. That's what immediately went into my head. And personally, I think that would just be funnier if they just accepted it and went with that. Like, screw it. Let's just put the Wii, what are they called? The Mii's. Just
It's
put them
yeah,
in
the
the,
little memes.
yeah.
Look, that's exactly what. That's the first thing that came in my mind when I saw it on Twitter. I was like, it reminds me of Wii baseball. You hear the loud crack, and then you see the little people jumping up and
Yep.
down.
Honestly. But I mean, for you, there's been a little bit of, the Phillies had a bit of a run in with COVID. Has there been any communication? Like, is there more of a likelihood that you'd even have to go up to, say, the 60-man roster if a bunch of people tested positive? Has there been any communication with guys in the lower levels about that at all?
No, there hasn't. I mean, I hope the guy are caught up, man. I'm tired of sitting here.
Yes.
I'm just waiting on it.
So, I mean, what are you doing? Like, how? That's not the way I want to phrase it. Like, how excited are you to get back to actual baseball? Like next year, 2021 is probably the next time you'll get to play spring training 2021. How excited will you be?
I'd be stoked, man. I haven't really even gotten that far. I'm trying to take it one month at a time. Like, if we can get past 1 month with, stuff dying down, then I don't want to get my hopes up in that, round 2 Corona.
Yeah, that's a good point. So,
I just
Kendall,
I'll stay ready.
what'd you say?
I'm ready. I said I'm ready. Like, I've
I
been
can
ready.
tell you're ready. You're ready to go. So, last thing I want to do, I enjoy letting guys brag about themselves, and I have a feeling you're going to enjoy doing this. So, you've got a good personality. So, I'm going to let you have a little bit of free reign here. For people who've never seen you play baseball, Kendall, describe yourself as a player. So, whether that be defense, offense, on the bases, as a teammate, what do the Philadelphia Phillies have that people might not know that they have?
Man, I get ahead and say this. Like, you see me, if you watch a game, you'll see me smile. Obviously, you probably saw that during this interview a lot.
Yep.
No matter what, I'm always messing around with someone on the team. I love my teammates. You'll look on the film like, dang, dog, that's a unit. That's a put-together guy. I treat my body with pride, I'm proud of that.
Yes.
And, but all jokes aside, like, I think, I'm a good guy. I think that's my biggest tool. Like, I am a great guy. And, I have fun. I love the game. And I think my bat's really coming around. I think that's going to be a big plus side for me. And, infield, I move around third, short, and second. So I think I'm pretty much really comfortable at every spot. So I wouldn't say I have a primary position on the infield anymore.
So do you kind of, is that something that you're very proud of, that you're a utility guy, you can play wherever team needs you?
Yes, I think it's a plus. Like, it's a big. I did that in high school as well. Like, I just bounced from third to second. I played second a little bit. I bounced from third to short a lot in high school.
Okay.
So, like, kind of used to it. It. I'm comfortable at every spot. Like, I cannot tell you, like, oh, I'm kind of shaky right here.
You play any first base at all?
Oh man, never play first.
First base, I will tell you, first base is hard. Obviously, I'm the one sitting here interviewing you, so I'm one to talk. But first base, first base is hard, dude. There's they do a lot of work saving y'all's throws from the left side of the infield, especially. So
Hey,
I'm sure you're nice to your first baseman, but make sure that buy him a dinner once in a while because they help y'all out.
hey, with me, that I'm gonna need more than a dinner. Like first baseman save my butt every throw. It's not like once a game. Like no, every throw. You got me. Thank you.
Well, that's good that you know that. That's good that you know that. Well, Kendall, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Whether it be baseball, real estate, anything in between, I am very sure that you will do big things.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Had a blast.